Howdy folks, welcome to another episode of the Snowies Camping Show, joined by myself, Ben, and my colleague Lauren. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. We are nearing the end of 2023.
We are.
Second to last episode.
Where has it gone?
I don't know. It's been a crazy year for us here at Snowies, and I'm looking forward to 2024.
I'm sure it's been crazy for everyone else too.
Sliding in, you know that saying where they say you're flying in across the finish line sideways and out of control or something like that. It feels a bit like that.
It does feel a bit like that.
End of this year. But if you haven't joined us before, please subscribe, or you can join in on the conversation at the Snowies Camping Show Facebook group if you jump on and ask to join. Laura and I are on there with a whole bunch of other camping enthusiasts answering each other's questions and just generally talking camping. And you can also listen to us via your favourite podcast app.
There's been some really great conversations happening in there recently.
It's good questions.
Really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time I don't even, need to get involved because everyone just covers it. And I think we've mentioned that just in one of the recent episodes that we've recorded, that it's a really great space now. But I just thought I'd mention it again.
We just jump in when we feel like we've got something to say.
Yep.
Or something goes unanswered.
Yes, that's true.
Give them something.
Yeah.
Even if it's nothing, say something. Today we did this last year.
We did.
Coming close to Christmas.
Episode 82. We did our first Christmas gift guide episode for 2022.
And this is 115?
15, I think today is, yeah. So because obviously this year we've swapped to fortnightly episodes. But we thought we'd give it another go. Christmas gift ideas for 2023, whether or not you want to pick something up for your mates or your family or yourself.
Yep. We've both written a wish list.
We have, yeah.
That we're going to pass to each other. Or not.
Don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I used to love Christmas.
But you don't. When you're a kid, now you don't.
And now I'm probably the Grinch of all Grinches with Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I just feel like it's a lot.
It is a lot. I used to work in supermarkets and I've only just started to enjoy Christmases again, like decades after being out of a supermarket, because it was just such a manic time of year. And I feel for everyone who works in that fast moving consumer group at Christmas time, because it is hectic and it seems to start mid-year and carries right through to Christmas, and then Christmas is over, and then before you know it, you're talking about Easter, and then you're back doing Christmas again. It's just crazy. And
back in the ye old days of young Lauren, I used to manage a sanity store, and I don't know, like wherever you're listening around Australia, I'm pretty sure every state has a Westfield. I could be wrong, but like just a huge, gigantic, big shopping mall, not like a DFO, but like an actual big shopping mall. And the sanity that I was at was one of the biggest in Australia, not the biggest, but
Sanity
one of the biggest.
Being music.
Sanity, for all of you young whippersnappers, we used to sell CDs and DVDs.
The CDs are things that had music on them.
Things of the past. And we used to have trading, I think, for the 4 days leading up to Christmas, 24/7.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And
in the Westfield,
we just used to have our area manager come and dropping us off like cases of Red Bull and like lollies, and just to get us through. It was hectic.
And Christmas Day, you're just exhausted.
Yes. Yeah. But now we enjoy the quieter life of camping, which is much more palatable and enjoyable.
It's quite hectic. We've just come out of Black Friday, and I don't know if anyone saw it, but there was a post of Laurie and I in the warehouse picking orders, because we had a few big days and the warehouse people were running amok, getting absolutely
slammed, yeah.
So we jumped out there and picked some orders. I don't know how much difference we made, but
we made a massive difference. What are you talking about?
No, kudos to everyone.
We smashed it.
We did pretty well. For people who'd not done it before, we picked it up pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think we did too.
Lauren drove the forklift and I just
crashed it a few times.
Kept throwing stuff her way.
Do you know how many people have been sending me videos of like social media of people crashing their forklift and then the entire warehouse like coming crumbling down?
Well, you didn't really have a learning thing. You're like, I've never driven one of these before. Forward, backwards. All right,
totally safe though, like in a full accordance with health and safety policies though, I do have to say.
But
I was awesome.
Kudos to the warehouse people. If you've ordered something on Black Friday, they are flat out there right now picking and packing orders. But that's not what we're talking about today.
No.
I don't know how many minutes through we are, because we've get our timer up today. The screen's gone missing.
And we're rambling
so we're
a lot.
running blind. We assume the camera's recording.
Correct.
So we've written a list, and I know I've written my list.
And checking it twice.
Checking it twice. Well, I did. I checked it a few times because I started it and then had to come back and check it again because I kept getting interrupted. But I've written it on the basis of what would I want. Things that I probably go, oh, that'd be nice to have, but I don't need it. But if someone bought it for me for a gift, that'd be a pretty cool gift. So I kind of populated my list based on that kind of theory.
Yeah, I think some of mine are a little bit obscure. I think that when people think, oh, Christmas gift card or whatever, it's often the newest products of the year and the whiz bang stuff. And that's not necessarily, I think there's a huge back catalogue of products that might have been around for years that maybe people have never really thought of because they're looking for the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a couple of little random ones.
I'll probably get some of the obvious things, but let's get started.
You go, take it away.
I started by just putting down a brand, and now this Tiegear is the brand. Now you need guy ropes, right? There's no doubt you need guy ropes, and you can make do without a guy rope, but the Tiegear guy ropes are pretty cool. And
they are boss.
I would have it on my list if I was in a position where I thought, I've got a bit of extra cash, I'll get a few of those. If someone gave me some, I would use them all the time.
Yeah,
no doubt. They're really good.
Stoked.
So for people who don't know, jump online and have a look. But it's basically a guy rope.
Well, it's like an all-in-one guy rope. It's got this awesome, gal steel weatherproof tensioner and like this little UV protected mesh basket that you bundle all your excess guy rope in, and you can get them in kits of multiple guy ropes, and they do these awesome, we always trace springs and stuff, and they do sort of like an fully elastic version or fully soft version of those. And that can like wrap around. You know how sometimes when you're trying to say put up an awning and you can't get your pegs in the ground, or, there's a vehicle in the way, you're limited on space, those soft springs wrap around bull bars, roof racks, wing mirrors, like they're just so versatile. It's
someone's got to pull out side awning, you get 2 of these guy ropes and 2 of those soft springs, and you've got bomb anchors. Well, you need good pegs as well, but you've got really good guy ropes for that.
You can also just obviously use the guy ropes on their own. Like there's no reason why not, but it's definitely worth a look. Okay, mine.
We're going to go one each.
We're going to go one each, I think. So I am going to bring out the big guns first off. I'm going with the Blacksmith wheel bag because damn, this thing is sexy. Like that's my genuine opinion out of all the wheel bags that exist. I just feel like the Blacksmith wheel bag, especially in black, but also in khaki because you can get it in different colours, it just looks so hot.
I think the black with the Blacksmith logo, it's got just a nice kind of appeal to it.
And it's like I don't have a car that has a wheel on the back of it, but I want a car with a wheel on the back of it so I can have that.
It's also Australian made canvas, made right here in Adelaide. Really good quality product.
It is an awesome quality product, and definitely something worth looking at if you've got a budding 4-wheel driver in your life, potentially a nephew or something, and all the aunties and uncles chip in, or, your dad and mum have just sold their house and bought a caravan with all of your inheritance and they need a wheel bag.
Just make sure they have got the wheel on the back because it won't go on like a dual cab.
That is true. Maybe I'm trying to find a way that I can put some webbing straps on it and just strap it to the back of the hatch door of my Golf.
Polystyrene something on the back.
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't look weird at all. A Golf would be bigger than your back hatch.
It would, but still.
Next one for me is the Dometic call it a hydration faucet or hydration tap.
Okay,
so, you know what I'm talking about?
The Go tap thing.
Go tap, yeah. Little USB rechargeable USB rechargeable tap. I was going to say 12 volt, but it's not 12 volt. It's USB. It's got an integrated battery with a hose that comes with a magnetic base. If you're looking to set up your car with a 12 volt pump, so you can get water out the back really easily.
Yep.
This is a really easy way to do it without having to worry about wiring 12 volt pumps or anything. You can just put this in a water vessel in the back of your car, have the hose run to the little tap, put it on a magnetic or a metal base, press the button and water runs out. So really handy little device. Now, one of those things where it would be nice to have, I haven't bought one, but I haven't bought one because I can just tip the water out. I'm always thinking like, I don't really need it. But if someone bought me one, I'd love it.
I reckon in one of our like weird camping gear episodes we've done before, there's like a little shelf type thing with a tap that you sit on top of one of those blub bottles, and you can just dispense your own water when you're camping. Something like this would be really similar. Like a lot of people take their drinking water in a huge big 20-litre jerry can, and that can be really heavy to lift or tip. Mm-hmm. So if you're storing that somewhere, even if you can just pull it out of your car onto the ground next to a camp table or something, you can run the straw from that Go Faucet into the jerry can and just get yourself glasses of water and not have to worry about lifting and tipping. It's just such a versatile little thing.
Don't have those moments where the kids can't turn the tap off and the water's just running out onto the ground.
Yep, definitely. So I'm going to go with a little cheapie, which I think is potentially a stocking filler. Mm-hmm. They're telescopic toasting forks.
Yep.
They're just cool. And
little coloured handles on them.
They're little coloured handles, and you can get them in a couple of different colours. And so, if you've got a couple of kids and you want to whatever. But anyway, they're just like a giant big U-shaped prong thing, and then the handle telescopics all the way out. I don't know what the measurement of it is, but they're long. Just so cool. Yeah. You can spike your pieces of bread on it. You can do a sausage. You can do marshmallows.
Yep.
Like there's just so many different ways of using them, and they're quite small. They're compact. They're super cheap.
Yep.
Get on them. Get around them.
My next one is a product that is relatively new to the range, and I saw it in the store and I went, wow, that's really cool, and did a video on it on the spot. But the BlackWolf Quick Fold Lightweight Chair, it's called. It's this kind of interesting looking little chair with four sort of legs that kind of fold out. I don't know how to describe it.
Is that the black one?
The black with blue trim, and it's got kind of looks like not tripod, but there's four legs, but it's got that kind of tripod look about it. I just thought it was really cool. It looks like it could be over-engineered, but then when you play around with it, it's actually really well put together and feels sturdy and operates really well. And it's just a compact little chair, a bit like we talk about what are the Helinox chairs? They're kind of there.
Does it swivel?
No, it doesn't swivel, no.
Okay, because I'm thinking OZtrail used to do a compact light sort of range of chairs years and years ago that remind me of what you're talking about.
It's a bit like those, but a little bit less mucking around because the frame and everything is all integrated. You just take it out, fold it, pop it into place, and it's good to go.
Yeah, right.
And then you fold it up, you press a button.
I haven't actually looked at that. I have to check that.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, so check them out.
So I am now going to talk about the Sundowner Swags by OZtrail. Now it's part of their
top shelf with your products.
Telescopic camping fork. Come on, that's
you've got
not top shelf.
And bottom, now back up the top again.
Yeah, right. So I know I'm an expensive lady. So the Sundowner Swags. Now they come in a 900 and a 1550, and it's from OZtrail's new Overlander range, which I think, having had a look at the range, it's also pretty attractive. Like the colouring is sort of like the canvas they've chosen is like a greyish blue, and then they've got that sort of golden trim, and on one of their rooftop tents it's got copper. It does actually look really good. But anyway, their Sundowner Swags are segmental dome swag, so with the 3 hoops, and they've got an integrated storage system, an integrated LED lighting system. There's a lot of ventilation. They've got an awesome mattress in there. The walls are like super vertical. There's loads of headroom. And the best thing about the 1550 is like Darchian 230, they also do 1550s. You got the Outbreak and the Nebula. The difference between the Sundowner 1550 that OZtrail do is that it's fully rectangular. And one of the biggest issues that people have when they have a Nebula or an Outbreak is the floor itself is octagonal sort of thing. It's got 2 long sides, but then a sort of 3, like almost
corners are kind of
the corners are chamfered off sort of thing. And so when you want to replace the swag mat with a self-inflating mattress, it's really difficult because not many of them actually fit in there. Whereas the 1550, rectangular, perfect, bit of extra room, they just look really well thought out and really well considered.
Have a look at that whole Overlander range. It's kind of OZtrail's top of the range of swags, rooftop tents and awnings. I haven't had a good play with all the products yet, but they do look really nice.
Yeah, we're hoping to potentially get them on early next season to go through some of that stuff because it'd be cool to hear from them.
We were going to do some videos and things last week, but didn't fell through. But,
the weather down here with like the flooding.
Yeah,
and anyway,
yep.
Move on. Stay on task.
So we're moving slowly, but I've written Opinel in general. I think Opinel is just a good gift, and it seems like if you're just talking about an Opinel knife, I think the number 8 is their most popular.
I would say
knife.
so. Yeah.
If you talk to people, people comment on our videos who seem to be from Europe or England. It seems to be that everyone just has an Opinel. Like you just have an Opinel.
They're like a French brand, and they've been around for ages.
Yeah. So really simple.
I have one that actually I've got a couple. I bought the kids in my first my first Opinel. It's like a kid's knife.
Blunt end on it.
A bit more of a blunt end. But they've had those for like 7 years and they still go strong. They do all sorts of stuff outdoors like whittling, cutting things.
Yep.
You know, it's just really cool.
So
they're not sorry.
Let me talk.
That's an inside joke.
They're good quality materials, but simplistic in their design. So they're actually really affordable as well. So you're coming carbon and stainless steel, 2 different steels to the blades. And there's also a saw, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
A fold out saw. So, and all of these are not overly expensive products. So just a nice gift for someone. And there are gift packs as well. So some of them come in a neat little wooden box with a little leather pouch. And there's also a pretty cool picnic set, which has got like a corkscrew, which no one needs anymore because no bottles have corks.
I know, that sort of makes me feel a bit sad.
Yeah, a little chopping board and that sort of thing. So yeah, check out the Opinel range.
I like how they have, like their bread knife and they've got like a chopping knife, but it folds like some of their smaller knives do. So if you have a 4-wheel drive kitchen or something and you can't put massive knives in, they're really cool.
And it still makes it very Instagram worthy as well if you're setting up your camp kitchen, which I know you're big on nice looking.
Yeah, I'm big on nice looking things. I'm not big on Instagram. I don't do a huge amount on there.
Fair enough.
Next for me is Luci string lights.
Luci or Luci? I don't know how to say that.
Well, Luci. I'm just going to go with Luci.
I think we had some. Oh yeah. Oh, you probably can't see it in the screen there at the moment. There's one. It's sitting up on top of the garage shelves at the back here. Is that the one in the?
Oh, I don't even know if that's on the camera.
No, I don't think it is. I'm just going to point like that and go, it's up there, you can't see it. But I think that's the one you're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah. So you can get them, basically it's just like a little cassette, like an old film, like I'm talking 8mm film type round drum cassette thing. You got a solar panel on one side, you've got a couple of really simple buttons, and then it sort of twists and clicks open and the whole roll of fairy lights is inside. So it's this nice little neat package. And you can get a version that does a white and a warm white and an orange. Pretty sure it doesn't.
Don't quote us on that.
But it's white. I'm pretty sure it's white, warm white and orange.
I can still hear you when you whisper to the microphone.
And then the other one, it's been a long year. And then the other one is colourful. So you can program it to just move through the colours of the rainbow on its own, or you can choose a specific colour. And they're just really handy. They charge up purely by solar, but they do that super quick. They last a really long time on one charge, and they're actually really functional lighting. And I have a set that I originally was a bit iffy about whether or not they'd be good, and I love them.
Okay. Yeah. So they're good for hanging around an awning for that kind of area lighting where you don't want a big bright light. You just need enough light to see around getting around the campsite when you're just
and I know we've talked about fairy lights in the past and how you can just pick them up off, AliExpress or whatever, like the thin little copper things. And now we're sort of a couple of years down the track since we first had our fairy light argument on this show. The copper ones are awesome, but they're long, unless you're sort of looking after them really well.
They break.
They're not super heavy duty. Whereas something like the Luci lanterns, the Luci lights, don't throw them around, but you could literally just chuck them in and, not have to worry too much.
I'm supportive of the Luci lights, but I won't call them fairy lights.
Okay. Luci lights on a string.
Yep.
They are actually called string lights. So
good.
Take that.
Okay, but not fairy lights. String lights are my
string lights,
not fairy light.
Okay,
let's not go down that path again. People have already watched us debate that too much. Now, what wish list would be complete from me without it having a coffee maker on it.
Yeah.
So the Wacaco coffee maker, I've probably written that one down because I've got an AeroPress, so I don't actually need a Wacaco. But if someone bought me one, I'd go,
You'd be stoked.
Cool, because it makes a different type of coffee than the AeroPress. But the mini presso, I think there's a mini presso and the nanopresso. Mini presso, smaller version, compact, comes in, you get a little case.
They're ideal for people who like to have proper coffee, as in a proper espresso shot of coffee.
Yes, you said that wrong in a video, didn't you? Espresso.
And I will never live it down. Espresso.
So it makes like a 30 ml shot. So I use the AeroPress. I think I've been through it before because you can put more hot water in it, but this makes a proper shot of coffee. So in line with what you'd buy at a cafe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. My next one is a camp blanket. And what I mean specifically by a camp blanket is a blanket that is made specifically for camping.
Really? Thanks for clarifying that.
No, but I mean like one that's designed you could use it on your bed, but you can also drag it out and have it wrapped around you at the campfire or wrap yourself up in it and walk around and just have it like a nana rug, but one that's made for being out there. So there's a couple, Coleman do one that's really good, and I have recently inherited one in the office because we had a team member who has rather sadly left us, and she gave me her blanket. She had a Coleman blanket.
Is that where that went?
Yeah, it's mine now. That she used to use as her nana blanket in the office all winter, and I love it. And OZtrail do a drover's roll, which is a relatively new one, and that's got a bit of extra accessories in it. Like it's got a phone pocket in it, and it's got press studs on it, so you can sort of press stud it around you. It's got like hand pocket things, so you can put your hands up and then wrap it in. Like that's really good. And then OZtrail also do I feel like I want to call it a trail blanket, but I've forgotten. I mean, not OZtrail, 230.
Yeah.
They do one called, I'm pretty sure it's called a trail blanket, but it's like got black, sort of that canvasy on one side, flannel on the other. Yeah. They're just really snuggly, comfortable, heavy duty, durable blankets.
Yeah, I did have someone ask recently, can I just use my doona from home? Or no, they said I've used my doona from home and I want to get something for camping. In terms of how it's going to keep you warm, it's pretty similar, but the camping one specifically, as you mentioned, more durable. So 230s, for example, has got a canvas, heavier duty canvas or or probably a lighter duty cotton canvas on the outside and the flannel that are just going to hold up better in the outdoors.
Yeah, but I just think they're a really good investment for people who potentially have a lot of stuff already. They're just great to have on hand.
Yep. My next one is those small Dometic Iceboxes, the two newer ones in the range, the 15 and the 28. They're quite sleek looking, and they've got kind of a handle that comes out through the top, and they've got all the really cool Dometic Icebox features such as the rubber latches over the front.
Yeah.
Just in the small size, I think it's a good Christmas gift because it could be something you don't necessarily use all the time, or maybe a tradie. I know, like my mate is a tradie and he's got a Dometic Icebox, so he takes his lunch in it every day because it keeps it cold for the whole day. And I'd use it on day trips out and just
down
to keep
the beach or
absolutely. Put an icebox in there, ice brick in there with a bit of food, and it's going to keep it cold all day. So just a really handy little addition to not just for camping, but for any day out.
I do think they are at a bit of a higher price point than some of the other brands, but the reason why is because they're small, they have exactly the same efficiencies, insulation, all of that sort of stuff, spec standards as the larger chest freezers that you're wanting to keep your food cold and icy cold for like a week. So same quality, just smaller.
So I wrote it down because I reckon if I was buying myself one, I'd probably, if it was my money, I'd probably look at getting a lower priced one because I wouldn't be using it all the time. But if you could afford it and someone bought me the step up, this one here, I'd love
stoked.
it.
Yeah, agree. So my next one is something that I've put on this list because I've actually bought them as Christmas presents for people for the last couple of years, and it's the Everclear Drinkware.
Yes.
And I think that it's very underrated. And I think it's Triton polyethylene plastic. I think it's Triton something.
Like
anyway, they're like, it's basically, tumblers, wine tumblers, also wine glasses on stems, beer. I think they even do a couple of beer steins. Maybe some 8-ball glasses as well. Like they've got a range of them, and you can buy them individually or in like sets of 4, and they look like glass, but they're not. And the stemless wine glasses are the ones that like I've got a couple that I just have in my kitchen at home, and everybody's like, what are these? Where have they come from? So I give them to people for Christmas presents, and they're just such a good investment.
You can buy pretty cheap glasses that you might think for camping, I'll just get some plastic cups, but these are a step up. So you feel like you're having a nice drink out camping. You might take a nice wine or whiskey or whatever, but you don't want to take glass. And I know I wouldn't enjoy my whiskey if I drank it out of a little plastic IKEA cup. This is a good way to have that.
It feels like glass. And I don't know about you, but I've, had many a picnic in the past with a wine glass and the good old, 90s one that's got the colourful tropical fish printed around the sides and whatever, and it's plastic, right? Yeah. These don't feel like plastic. It feels like you're drinking out of glass.
Bit of weight to them as well.
Bit of weight to them. Really good. Anyway, I can't rave about them enough personally.
I've just noted down one here that I don't know how it dropped off my list. So I'm going to mention 2 in this spot here because it's from the same brand. The first one being the Hardcore Multi-Tool Shovel, which has been in our range for quite a while now. And one of those things.
I did the video on that one.
You did, yeah. One of those things I probably never buy for myself. But if someone bought it for me, it'd go in the car and I'd probably use it heaps.
You'd be like, cool.
Because it's got a shovel, it's got an axe and a pick and a fishing spear and a flint and all sorts of stuff on it. You've got to check out the video to see the accessories on that one. But that's a pretty cool, unique gift. As it mentions, multi-tool, does a lot of things all in one. And also from Hardcore, the U-Lights, those 4-pack U-Lights, I think we mentioned them over and over in many different podcasts, and we suggest it all the time to people looking for lighting. But
everyone loves them.
Everyone loves them, yeah. So the 4-pack of USB rechargeable, what look like headlamps. They just don't have the strap. They've got magnetic things on them and magnets on the back and elastic, so you can just stick them anywhere in the campsite. They give heaps of light, and the sort of light you get out of compact kit that, I'm going back to our episode when we talked about these. What do we?
I don't know what episode it was.
We called the size of the kit something. Anyway, we won't go down that path. Compact compared to like a 12-volt light bar.
Yeah.
Kit,
they hold a charge for ages. They're rechargeable. They're boss.
Yep.
So I'm going back up to the expensive lady list. Tiegear, we've recently got these ones in their L-shaped mats. They are so good because
that's your expensive lady gear, is it?
Yeah. Tiegear,
everyone.
It is.
Men like it too.
Men do like Tiegear mats as well, Benji. They do. But these ones in particular are L-shaped, and the reason why they're so good is because so many people have 270 awnings now. And instead of having a combination of 2 different mats, they do have this L-shaped one. And it comes in a range of different sizes to suit a range of different 270 degree awning styles that you might have. And I just think they're a really, really awesome idea. And of course, Tiegear, as you know, if you guys aren't familiar with the Tiegear mats, I think the brand originated because they used to make helicopter landing pad mats for like emergency helicopter or even military or something. And so it's like a double layer of, I want to say shade cloth, but I feel like shade cloth is a total invalidation of the actual material.
It's something, it's
some crazy ass thing. Anyway, it's double layered, and basically the sand or the dirt goes through it, but it can't come back up. So you always just have this really clean space. But now they come in a shape specifically to cover around the side and the back of your vehicle for when you have awnings that do the same thing. And I think they're awesome.
They use them as helipads to stop the dust from blowing up when a helicopter lands as well.
Oh, okay.
So if they landed in a dusty desert space, they'd lay that down and it would stop because obviously the downdraft of the helicopter picks all the dust up. So that's
and it has like webbing and D-loops all around it so you can peg it down and keep the tension on it. Yeah, great.
Yep. Cool. Got to love that the expensive lady list includes a Tiegear mat. How awesome is that? Okay, my list, and this is a bit out of season, but a Firepit. Daichi 230 Charmate.
Yeah.
Super Peg do one as well. But the ones I quite like are those folding ones that you can cook on as well.
Yeah.
And so Darcy 230 and Charmate do those. So not so much for the summer here at the moment, but come winter, really handy little thing to have in the car. I probably, once again, it's on my list because I don't have it on my thing that I need. But if someone bought it for me, I'd use it in the backyard and camping.
Yeah, I agree. We did do an episode, I think, that was potentially in our first season about whether or not you needed a fire pit. And you and I both said no, because you don't really have fires a huge amount. And I have fires a huge amount, but they just need to be a bit bigger and a bit more versatile than what a fire pit can offer me.
Yep.
But having said that, I would be stoked to get a portable fire pit as a gift.
Yep.
Because I just think they're a really cool idea.
Yeah. I mean, I'd use it in the backyard and stuff as well. Just put it on the grass and burn up your grass. What are you laughing at?
Nothing. I'm just smiling because I'm happy. So is that your list done?
I don't believe it. That's my list done.
So I've got the final
Is this what you're
gift
laughing
suggestion.
about?
I just realised that I've left this to the very last. It is now. Please,
I've just worked out what you've written.
Yeah,
there.
don't like.
Is that?
Don't.
This is a funny.
Don't lose your minds, everyone. But it's a folding washing basket, and I know that sounds really silly. And I think in hindsight, I would have planned my gift list in a different order,
Finish
so
on a
we
high.
weren't. So we anyway, pop up, right? Folding washing basket. It's essentially, I say folding washing basket, but it pops up. And the reason why I'm putting this on the list is because I was given one this year and by somebody who didn't know that I worked at Snowy's and could get one myself. And so they were like, oh, I bought you this wicked present. And I was like, yeah, cool. That's really great. Because I was like, yeah, cool. That's really great. But it's so good. And I just love that if you've got a lot of washing or you've got a lot of stuff that you need to cart around or move around, it just, when you're not using it, it just folds flat. But then when you've popped it up, the volume of stuff that it holds is like astronomically huge. And I just think I've used it, not just for laundry, but I've used it for so much stuff that I would never have considered that it was something that would be useful or that I would want. And I've used it a lot. And I think that it would be a pretty awesome gift. Like if someone was to get me a second one, I'd be stoked with that.
Cool. Do you reckon the volume is more than your standard washing basket?
Absolutely.
I find that question funny when people go, it holds so much. But like, I mean, this cup holds.
But it's like if you're like,
so
imagine.
It holds as much as it can, right?
I know. But what I'm saying is like if you, it packs nice and flat. It can slide under something or go with your tables or, in terms of taking it camping, it's probably more suited for like caravanners or camper trailer people, not necessarily car campers, because whilst it's flat, it's still quite large. But, imagine if you are wanting to take a whole bunch of stuff from your campsite to a communal barbecue thing, or you want to go to your neighbours because you've met someone and you want to share a drink or something after dinner, or you want to go to the bathroom with your kids, or like it doesn't necessarily have to be washing.
Yeah, okay.
Like you can load everything up in it and just chuck it on your hip and off you toddle, and it's awesome.
I think you've done well selling up a washing basket there. We better is that pop up?
Yeah.
Is that the brand?
I'm pretty sure it's pop up.
We'll give them a snippet of your sales pitch there that they can just play on there.
I tell you, you're onto a winner.
I am.
With this basket.
Okay.
You colloquially, I hope I said that right. You, as anyone listening, as a whole community, you're onto a winner with a pop-up washing basket.
We better go and let our purchasing team know that they're going to get a few more of these after that sales pitch.
We're about to get a mad run on washing baskets. All right. We did it.
All right. One episode left of the year.
Coming next.
We'll try not to get too silly by then.
I feel like we've gone a little bit. Yeah, we're all getting a little bit wild.
Looking forward to next year.
Yes.
After, Christmas first. Yep. Anyway, that's it. That's our wish lists for 2023. If you want to check it out, most of what we mentioned last year is still products that we have in stock, which is a bit of a different
episode
mix
82. Check that out.
Yeah. If you want some other ideas, got any questions, let us know on the Facebook group or via the comments below.
Let us know what's on your wish list.
And anything that we've mentioned on our wish list will be in the show notes for this this episode on our blog.
Correct.
So check them out there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you for next time for our last episode of 2023.
Catch you later.
See you later.